So Courtney and I bought an air compressor, and something showed up in the mail at a perfect time. This right here. Abrasive blaster tank. This is from Vevor. So I went ahead and built it and put everything together. Was pretty easy. All you had to do was attach this hose to the bottom. You had to attach this gauge, and then you had to put on these handles here with the wheels. Very easy. So we're gonna test this out and see if it performs very well. So my air compressor in here should handle it just fine. So right here it says between 6 and 25 CFM. We're gonna try this with a really small air compressor too, just to see how well it does for anybody who's got somewhat of a small air compressor and is thinking about buying a sandblasting tank. So your media goes inside the tank if you don't know. And right here we got some black diamond abrasive, and this came from Tractor Supply. There's a black bag and a red bag. For this one, it comes with some nozzles that are, I believe, 2 millimeter, 2.5 millimeter, 3, and 3.5. And this is about what you want to come out of those nozzles. If you get the black bag, you'll just end up clogging up the nozzles, and it'll be a pain in the butt. So we're gonna go ahead and dump this in here and see what this is gonna do. We got an old nasty rusted caliper in our scrap pile, and we are going to blast that clean and see how well it does. All right, so we went ahead and filled this up. Read your instructions very carefully when you're doing this. You want to follow all the proper steps. So my line pressure I have set right about 100 coming out of the air compressor. So this should fill real close to 100. You definitely don't want to go over like 125, I believe, on these tanks. There are some safety features like this nozzle or this valve back here, but just be careful. So right now you have to open up this valve, which is a line valve that comes out right here. And then you slowly start opening up the valve up underneath, and then that'll start pushing some of that sand through. Safety glasses, any kind of a helmet, anything to protect this stuff off your face, because it bounces back pretty bad, and it'll hit you, and it doesn't feel very good. So let's see how well we can do on this caliper. So now I got this air compressor hooked up. So just to put it in perspective for you, at 90 PSI, this puts out 5.8 SCFM. So it's only 1.9 horsepower. And I'm gonna try to run that blaster with it. And to compare it what I was just running it with, this is a 5 horsepower, 17.4 ACFM. So that help you put a perspective here. But let me show you how this is gonna function. I have a feeling that compressor is gonna kick on pretty much right away as soon as I start, but we'll see if it'll keep up. So it works, and it works fine. You just have to give your air compressor quite a bit more time to charge back up and cool. If you ran it nonstop, you're gonna burn your air compressor up. So that'll put it in perspective for you. It works great. You can still clean parts up, small parts. I would not do an entire truck frame or anything like that with a small air compressor. But with a large air compressor, this Vevor abrasive tank works great. You can even get bigger nozzles for it as long as your air compressor can keep up. So I'm like right in the middle of the CFM required, and my compressor keeps up with it just fine. You just got to keep in mind, the air compressors have to cool down. You have to allow adequate cooling for it, or you will burn up an air compressor. But this is the Vevor Tough Tools half price abrasive blaster tank.